everybody. Welcome to the Royal Read Pop Up. Yes, I am popping up and I am here because I have found something delicious that I want us to chit chat about just for a minute. And I'm going to pop right back out and go and finish up the read. But I'll tell you what, this came across my timeline and I said it cannot fit in the read. So I'm gonna pop in and we're gonna chit chat about it and then I'll pop out. But it was just too delicious not to talk about it right away because I'm telling you, when I saw it, I threw my head back and I cackled. I did. All right, I'm gonna put it up. And I know y'all a little shocked when y'all see what post I'm putting up. I'm putting up a post from GB News. Well, yes, it is still delicious. Let's get into it and you will find out why. The post says Canadians make their feelings clear ahead of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's intimate arrival. Yes, they have made themselves perfectly clear that all those flying monkeys, all the toadies and the lackeys that usually follow Harry and Meghan around, trying to cause trouble, trying to be on the streets of any city that they go to, minding their business, that they are trying to find somebody to say something negative about Harry and Meghan so they can go and write a story. And that's exactly what GB News and the Daily Fail has been doing up there in Canada. They hightailed it up there to Vancouver and to find out if it was just anybody, if they could find the mailman who would say something negative about Harry and Meghan so they could write a story. But it didn't happen the way they thought it was going to happen. It didn't go down the way they thought it was going to go down. And they had to write this story right here that the Canadians made themselves perfectly clear about how they feel about Harry and Meghan. And they love them. And they love them. And that's the story that they had to write, not the story that they wanted to write, but the story they had to write. And it is delicious. Let's get into it. All right, I'm gonna put it up because I scurried my tail right on over there and found this article. I know I said I was not gonna give them any clicks or any views if I didn't have to, but when I saw that, I had to scurry on over there because it was just so delicious. I love how the Canadians are handling those flying monkeys. They want to fly up to Canada and bring their nonsense up there, their hate and their spewing of bile and vitriol against a couple who is doing nothing but trying to help people and trying to change people's lives. But they want to continue their one sided smear campaign and want to take it on the road up there to Canada. But the Canadians are saying, not today, Satan, not today. You might write a story, but it will not be the story that you want to write. So here it is. It says Canadians make their feelings clear ahead of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's intimate arrival. And it goes on to say the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will check into the City Central Hotel in Vancouver this evening. They have no idea. They have no idea if that's true. Harry might be up there already, for as they know. This is all made up junk. They are trying to pretend like that they are a legitimate news source when we all know that Harry and Meghan froze them out a long time ago. So they were on the streets of Vancouver trying to find anybody to say anything negative about Harry and Meghan to write a story. And what they got was this right here. It says locals in Vancouver has made their feelings clear on the Sussexes ahead of the arrival of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry later today. They have no idea. They don't know when Meghan coming. They don't know when Harry coming. They don't know if Harry's already up there. They know nothing. All they know is that the Canadians is not going to put up with their nonsense, and they're not going to allow them to behave like straight up fools in their country when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And I love it. And it goes on to say the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will land in Canada on Friday. They have, like I said, they have no idea. And talking about they'll take a nearly 3 hour journey to 3 hour journey from Santa Barbara via private charter jet. You know they don't know that. They have no idea, but they always want to try to paint Harry and Meghan in a negative light. Like I was just saying the other day, Harry cannot put his foot on a private jet without them having something to say. And Willie Leaks is flying over their head right now. He was probably flying over the head of this person who is writing this story as they were writing it in his helicopter. And they said that I saw a story today where the horse had an engagement and she wouldn't even take her coat off. She was in and out in about less than 15 minutes. She didn't take her coat off. She crawled off of the helicopter, went in there, never took her coat off, did the engagement, and loaded her and Hoofs and behind right back up on that helicopter and flew off. But yet and still, it's nothing said about that. But they prefer to make up lies about Harry and Meghan than to tell the truth about those left behinds over there. But we done heard that before, hadn't we? I think Harry told us that. Well, no, it was Megan. Megan in the Oprah interview said that they are willing to lie about the left behinds than to tell the truth about Harry and Meghan. And this right here is nothing but proof of that. But let's go on. It says residents are eagerly anticipating the royal couple's arrival, with many expressing their support for the Sussexes. You know what that means? That means they walked around up there in Vancouver and could not find one person who was going to say anything bad about Harry and Meghan. And you best believe that they were looking. They were looking under rocks. I bet you they were looking in mailboxes trying to find anybody who would say anything negative about Harry and Meghan. And at the end of the day, they had to come back and write this story. And I just love that for them. And it said this, it said one person said, I think they will be very warmly welcomed here. Yes, they had to write that. And another person said, I am from Toronto, where Megan films Suits, and I have been a big fan of hers. She gets bad press, but I still like her. And you know, if they wrote that, that person probably said, I love Megan. It's no telling how much positive praise was heaped on Megan when they asked that question. But this is what they put down on paper because they knew they couldn't get away with lying. And then it says another resident said, I think they do a very good job and they do their best to help people. This is what the fine monkeys was met with when they scurried all the way from the United Kingdom to Canada, and they found out, I mean, a rude awakening. They got out of their bubble and they found out that people don't feel the same way that they do when they leave from over there, from across the pond. People don't feel that way. And they have convinced themselves that they have convinced themselves that America feels the same way about them, that America didn't like Harry and Meghan. They don't understand that this is just a creation in their mind from a fever dream that they had, that somehow, just because they can spew bile and they have done it in the past to destroy other people's lives, that it does not work with Harry and Meghan. And you know what I was thinking? I was saying these people are saying all these things about Harry and Meghan, talk about how they like them, how they really try to help people, how they'll be warmly welcome. You know what kind of failures those flying monkeys must feel like they are? Because they absolutely threw everything they had at this couple. And after we're going into the ninth year of nothing but bile, nothing but absolute smears, lies, planted stories. I mean, you name it, it was thrown at this couple. After 9 years, after all of that, what they get from Canada, from Canadians, is we like them. We think they do a good job. We think they try to help people. They'll be warmly welcomed here. Everybody's excited to see them. And GB News had to write this. And this, listen to this one. It says, I know they're not in the royal family anymore, but so many people like them. Yes, yes, yes. GB News had to write that because after scurrying up there trying to find something negative to write about anything, I'm surprised they didn't try to get a interview with a little kid or ask the little kid, "Do you like Harry and Meghan?" Because at the end of the day, the Canadians served up dust. That's all they got. I'm telling you. And then this part right here just, oh, it is chef's kiss. And why is chef kiss, you ask? It's because it shows. It shows how butthurt they are. You know, they are so butthurt when it comes to Harry's success, and that they are not a part of it, that he is no longer a part of that royal family, that they no longer have access to him and Meghan and those babies, and none of the activities that they are involved in. They get nothing. They don't even really get the crumbs. They're in Vancouver, prowling the streets, trying to find somebody to say something negative about Harry and Meghan, and absolutely had to cough up cotton balls as a result of it. I mean it. I love it. But what I was going to say, this is so delicious right here. This part right here. It says the games inspired by Prince Harry. They wouldn't say the games founded by Prince Harry. They wouldn't say the games created by Prince Harry. They wouldn't say the games that Prince Harry put together out of whole cloth. No, they wouldn't say that. Inspired. What kind of nonsense is that? Inspired. Talking about the games inspired by Prince Harry will see 500 competitors from 23 countries participating in various sporting events across Vancouver. Bitter, bitter, bitter. Sad, sad, sad. And I hope they enjoy their access, which will be no access. And all I can say, I just love that for them. All right, y'all. I also want to put this up, and this particular squatty went to the mail because the mail was out there in the streets with GB News, prowling around trying to find somebody in Vancouver to say something negative about Harry and Meghan, and they came up empty, the same as GB News did. And so they had to write their little story too. And this particular squatty posted their story and said this: they've been up and down the streets of Vancouver and they couldn't find anyone negative to quote. The article really hurt them to write. Anyway, we're all ready for the party to start. Yes, yes, yes. Invictus 2025. Yes. But yes, they were up there too. I mean, the flying monkeys just flying through the air, flew all the way to Canada and got their butt handed to them at the end. Because at the end, the Canadians are saying, we don't feel the same way you feel. I don't believe a lot of the British people feel the same way that they feel. but they are living in that bubble of negativity. And I just love this for them because it has been a ego check for Fleet Street. And I just love this for Fleet Street. You know, the ones who thought they were captain of the world, who really felt like they had the power of life and death in their pen. But it ends up, it's not like that, boo boo. You don't control anything. And it is people who will defy you, and it is people who will absolutely bring you down to your knees where you have to bow. And that was Prince Harry. And now people are really starting to see what a crocker, you know what, that whole industry over there is. It is rotten to the core. Over here in America, we can smell it from across the pond, how putrid it is over there. And nobody is believing them anymore. And they had to come back and write this story. And the story that the Daily Fair wrote was this: it says, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get set for a warm welcome as they arrive for the Invictus Game in Canada today. We all know that they don't know if Harry and Meghan is arriving today. They don't even know if Harry's already up there because we all know that they get no access. They absolutely want to pretend like they have some kind of access or some kind of inside knowledge to what is going on with Harry and Meghan. But we all know that that's not true. Harry and Meghan would not speak to them under any kind of circumstances. They are literally looking to pick up the crumbs. So they just need to stop it. Then they go on to say, with their Montecito neighbor, Katy Perry and Chris Martin performing at the opening ceremony of the game. And that is what Vancouver left them with to write. And that was dust. Vancouver served them up dust when it came to Harry and Meghan. And I love it. I looked at this article. It is nonsense. They tell the truth about how the people of Vancouver is serving up dust and just saying how much they love Harry and Meghan, how happy they are to have the games there, how happy they are to have all the athletes there, how happy they are that Harry and Meghan is coming, how they think Harry and Meghan does good. Now they incorporate that into the article, but then they incorporate some old nonsense about talking about how people don't like them in Montecito, how their neighbor, talking about that one neighbor who is not a neighbor, because we all know that that man cannot afford to really live in the area that Harry and Meghan lives in. And so they need to stop it. But they are on that same old BS. But they could not write the story they wanted to write. They ended up having to write the story that they had to write. And I love it, y'all. I love it. I do. And I just want to put this up because this is an example of the BS that they wrote anyway. I saw this article and I thought to myself, when did Harry and Meghan become the parents of David and Victoria Beckham? I say that because why in the world would Harry and Meghan care about Victoria Beckham and David Beckham having dinner at Highgrove? But I'm gonna put it up. It says Prince Harry and Meghan suffer blow as the Beckhams join King Charles and Camilla at Highgrove. Now explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, why Harry and Meghan would care if David and Victoria Beckham have dinner or go up to Highgrove. Why would Harry and Meghan care about that? These people, the mind gymnastics that they go through to justify this nonsense that they put down on this website is unbelievable to me. And I think it is to make themselves feel better because Harry and Meghan has moved on. And they absolutely pretend like Nothing across that pond even exists anymore. I'm just saying. They are bitter across the pond. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.